Listen to me, success ain't free. You gotta pay the price, and the currency is sacrifice. You say you want success, you say you wanna be great. Then understand this, you can't have success and comfort at the same time. You gotta give up something to go up. While others are sleeping, you're grinding. While others are partying, you're planning. While others are giving excuses, you're executing. Sacrifice means waking up at 4 a.m. when your body says sleep. Now, sacrifice means saying no to distractions, even when it hurts. Sacrifice means going the extra mile when no one's watching. Your dreams demand blood, sweat, and tears. I'm talking about giving everything you got, no half-stepping, no shortcuts. You want success? Then trade your old habits for new discipline. Trade Netflix for knowledge. Trade comfort for consistency. You can't take the elevator to the top, you gotta take the stairs. And each step, each sacrifice is proof that you're serious. So today, ask yourself, what are you willing to give up to go up? Because success demands sacrifice, and only those who pay the price get the prize. Success and comfort cannot coexist. It's a harsh truth, but one that every successful person understands deep in their core. Comfort is the enemy of growth. It is the silent killer of dreams, the lullaby that puts your ambition to sleep. When you are comfortable, you are content, you settle. You make peace with mediocrity. But success, real success, requires a level of discomfort that most people are unwilling to endure. And that's why most people never reach their full potential. You cannot wake up every day and do what feels good, what feels easy, and expect to rise to greatness. That's not how the game works. If you want to achieve something extraordinary, you have to be willing to do the things that ordinary people won't do. And that begins with stepping out of your comfort zone. It begins with putting yourself in situations that stretch you, challenge you, and make you uncomfortable. Think about it. Growth and comfort never happen at the same time. When you're growing, you're in pain. You're struggling. You're sweating. You're confused. You're scared. You're tired. But you keep going. And that's where the transformation happens. That's where you become stronger, sharper, and more capable than you were yesterday. Every champion you admire, whether in sports, business, art, or any other field, has had to sacrifice comfort to get where they are. Do you think champions sleeping every day? Do you think they choose TV over training? Do you think they take the easy route? No, they do what's hard. They wake up before the sun. They train when their body says no to temptations that could distract them from their goals. Why? Because they understand that comfort will never lead them to greatness. Let me ask you something. How many times have you had a goal, a dream, a vision for your life, and then given up because it got hard? How many times have you chosen sleep over study, excuses over execution, Netflix over the notebook? That's comfort talking. That's the part of you that's scared of change. That's the part of you that wants the reward without the sacrifice. But success doesn't work like that. You can't cheat the grind. The grind knows how much you've invested. The grind knows how much you practiced, how much you sacrificed, how much you've given up to get where you are. And if you've been taking shortcuts, the grind will expose you. You have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. That means putting yourself in positions where you don't know all the answers, where you might fail, where you might look foolish, where you might have to work harder than you ever have in your life. And that's okay, because discomfort is the birthplace of growth. It's where the real you is forged. Look at the gym as a metaphor. You don't build muscle by lifting light weights that don't challenge you. You build muscle by tearing the muscle fibers, by pushing through pain, by lifting heavier than you did yesterday. And then your body repairs, adapts, and becomes stronger. The same principle applies to your mind, your character, and your habits. You grow by pushing through discomfort, not by avoiding it. Let me tell you something real. If you're chasing a dream, you need to become a different person than you are today. And that transformation will not happen inside your comfort zone. That new version of you, the disciplined, focused, powerful version, is on the other side of your current habits. You have to shed the old skin. You have to let go of the comfort, the laziness, the excuses. I'm not saying this to shame you. I'm saying it to wake you up, because I've been there. I've been the person who hit snooze, who procrastinated, who settled. But then I realized something powerful. The comfort I was holding on to was costing me my future. I was choosing short-term pleasure over long-term purpose. And once I understood that, I knew I had to change. I had to get uncomfortable. I had to do what was hard every single day. And when I started doing that, everything shifted. My mindset changed. My confidence grew. My results multiplied. Why? Because I was no longer avoiding discomfort. I was embracing it. I was using it as fuel. Listen, if you want to live a life that most people will never live, you have to be willing to do what most people will never do. That means sacrificing your comfort. It means pushing past your limits. It means becoming obsessed with growth. It means choosing progress over pleasure. And yes, it's hard, but it's worth it. Imagine waking up every day knowing you're chasing your purpose, knowing that every sacrifice is building your legacy, knowing that you're becoming the best version of yourself, not because it's easy, but because you're willing to do what's necessary. That's the kind of life success demands. Not a life of comfort, but a life of commitment. So today, make a decision. Are you going to keep living in your comfort zone, or are you going to step into the arena? Are you going to keep making excuses, or are you going to make moves? Are you going to be average, or are you going to be great? Success and comfort cannot coexist. One has to go. You choose. Sacrifice requires discipline. That's the truth most people don't want to hear. Sacrifice isn't about a one-time effort. It's not about giving up something for a few days and expecting life to change. It's not about a burst of motivation. Real sacrifice is rooted in discipline, daily, deliberate, and often painful discipline. It's about doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. It's about staying focused when distractions are pulling at you from every direction. It's about showing up when no one is watching and giving your all when no one is clapping. Discipline is the muscle behind sacrifice. Without discipline, sacrifice turns into excuses. You might say you want to achieve something, but without discipline, you'll fall into patterns of inconsistency. You'll have good days and bad days, but you'll never have momentum. And without momentum, your dreams remain dreams, nothing more. Think about what discipline really means. It means making a choice every single day to act in alignment with your goals. It means having a clear vision of where you want to go and being willing to say no to everything that doesn't get closer to that destination. Discipline means structure. It means building a routine that supports your growth and sticking to it, whether you're tired, busy, stressed, or unmotivated. Early mornings and late nights are not just cliches. They are the foundation of success. When you have a dream, you can't afford to hit snooze. You can't afford to do it later, because every time you delay, you're pushing your success further away. Every time you choose comfort over consistency, you're telling your dream is not your priority. Discipline is waking up early to work on your goals before the world even gets moving. It's staying up late studying, practicing, building, while others are relaxing. It's about choosing purpose over pleasure again and again. You'll be tempted. Trust me, the temptations will come. You'll have chances to take shortcuts. You'll be invited to hang out instead of study. You'll want to scroll instead of grind. You'll want to rest instead of push. And that's where discipline steps in. That's where your mindset must be stronger than your mood. Because if you only act when you feel like it, you'll never get far. Success doesn't care about your feeling. It responds to your actions. You can't fake discipline. You either have a habit or you build it. And building it is a process. It starts small. Waking up 30 minutes earlier. Cutting one distraction from your day. Replacing one bad habit with a good one. But it must be consistent. That's the secret. Repetition builds discipline. And the more you do it, the stronger your self-control becomes. Before long, you're not just doing things because you have to. You're doing them because it's who you are. People talk about motivation like it's the secret to success. But motivation is fleeting. One day it's here, the next day it's gone. Discipline, though, that's permanent, that's reliable. Discipline will get you out of bed when motivation won't. Discipline will push you through pain when motivation disappears. Discipline will carry you when motivation abandons you. The truth is, if you're serious about success, you have to become a different kind of person. The kind who doesn't just dream, but does. The kind who doesn't just plan, but performs. And that transformation starts with discipline. It's not about being perfect, it's about being consistent. It's about doing what needs to be done, even when it's hard, even when no one understands, even when no one supports you. Discipline also means sacrifice in your lifestyle. You might have to let go of things you enjoy, that daily comfort food, that time-wasting habit, that friend group that doesn't align with your goals. It hurts. It's uncomfortable. But discipline isn't about easy decisions. It's about right decisions. Every time you choose the hard right over the easy wrong, you're growing. You're moving closer to the life you want. That's the power of discipline. And don't think discipline means a joyless life. No. In fact, the most disciplined people are often the most fulfilled. Why? Because they are living with purpose. They are chasing something real. They aren't controlled by their impulses. They control their choices. That kind of life brings a different level of satisfaction, one that comfort can never provide. There will be days when you fall, days when you miss the mark, days when you feel like giving up. That's normal. But discipline is also about how you respond to failure. Do you get up and keep going, or do you let it break you? The disciplined person uses failure as fuel. They study it, learn from it, and come back stronger because they understand one bad day doesn't define them. It's the bounce back that counts. You can start today. You don't need to wait for Monday. You don't need to wait for New Year's. All you need is the decision to be disciplined. Set a goal, set a schedule, and stick to it. Wake up early. Cut out distractions. Use your time wisely. Work on your craft every single day. Track your progress and don't stop, no matter how long it takes. Because here's the truth. The world doesn't owe you anything. Success doesn't come to those who want it. It comes to those who are disciplined enough to work for it day in, day out. Success is earned in the dark when no one's clapping. It's earned in silence when no one's watching. It's earned through pain, through effort, through repetition. And that's why discipline matters so much. It is the heartbeat of sacrifice. It's the difference between wishing for something and working for something. Between talking about your dreams and chasing them down. If you want to sacrifice for success, start by mastering your discipline. Because once you do, everything else will follow. Most people want success. They dream about it, talk about it, even visualize it. But when it comes to actually doing the work, to actually paying the price, they back off. Why? Because sacrifice is uncomfortable. Sacrifice is painful. It means letting go of things you love in the present for something greater in the future. And the truth is, that future isn't guaranteed unless you fully commit. That's the hard truth most people ignore. But success demands that you let go of comfort to gain growth. Letting go of comfort isn't just about waking up early or skipping entertainment. It's about reprogramming your entire mindset. Comfort feels good, it's easy, it's predictable, and it gives you short-term satisfaction. But growth never lives in comfort. Growth happens when you're stretched, when you're challenged, when you're tested. If you want something different, you have to do something different. You can't expect transformation while clinging to the same habits, the same routines, and the same mindset that's kept you average. It starts with recognizing the habits that hold you back. Maybe it's the extra hours you spend on social media. Maybe it's always choosing to relax instead of study. Maybe it's constantly surrounding yourself with people who aren't going anywhere. Whatever it is, comfort zones are dangerous because they feel safe. But they're not safe. They're prison. They keep you stuck in patterns that don't serve you. They keep you from taking the risk necessary to become who you were meant to be. Letting go of comfort also means embracing uncertainty. Uncertainty, you don't know if your business idea will work. You don't know if your efforts in school will lead to that scholarship. You don't know if all those late nights and early mornings will pay off. But that's the point. Success isn't about guarantees. It's about faith. It's about believing that your hard work will eventually make a way. And that belief pushes you to give up the temporary comforts that offer nothing but stagnation. You see, when you hold on to comfort, you hold on to average. Comfort and greatness do not coexist. You can't become world-class by staying in bed all day. You can't build a legacy by always choosing the easy route. Every champion, every high performer, every successful individual had to walk away from comfort. They had to make hard decisions. They had to sacrifice sleep, parties, relationships, and even their old identity. They had to become someone new. And that meant shedding their comfort zones like old skin. It's not just about physical comfort either. Sometimes the most difficult comfort to let go of is emotional. That fear of failure, that doubt, that inner voice that tells you, ooh, we're not good enough. It's easier to stay where it's safe than to risk failing in the pursuit of your dream. But here's the truth. Fear is a liar. Comfort lies to you. It tells you that you have time. It tells you that you're okay where you are. But deep down, you know that staying the same is slowly killing your potential. The moment you step away from comfort, you begin to transform. You begin to realize just how much you're capable of. You begin to push yourself harder, think bigger, and work smarter. You stop settling. You stop making excuses. And that's when the magic happens. That's when momentum kicks in. And once you taste growth, once you experience that shift, you won't want to go back to who you were. You'll realize that the temporary discomfort was worth the permanent upgrade. But here's the challenge. It never gets easier. The more you grow, the more sacrifices required. New levels demand new standards. If you want to rise, you have to keep shedding your old self. The comfort that once held you back will try to creep in again, only this time disguised as success. You'll be tempted to slow down, to get complacent, to take your foot off the gas. That's when you need to double down. Because the moment you start feeling too comfortable is the moment your growth begins to die. Letting go of comfort also means isolating yourself at times. You won't always be understood. People will question your drive. They'll call you obsessed. They'll tell you to take it easy to enjoy life. But they don't see your vision. They don't know the price you're willing to pay. And they don't understand that success isn't about enjoying life now. It's about building a life worth enjoying later. So yes, you may have to walk alone. But walking alone with purpose is far better than walking with the crowd without direction. You also need to understand that comfort can come from fear of change. Human beings are creatures of habit. We fear the unknown. But the unknown is exactly where your dreams live. Every goal you set, every vision you have, it's all waiting for you outside your comfort zone. And you'll never get there by clinging to what's easy. You have to choose growth over familiarity, even when it's terrifying. Because real power comes when you confront fear and still take action. That's how you build mental strength. That's how you create breakthroughs. The sacrifices will be real. You'll miss an event. You'll miss vacation. You'll be tired. You'll be sore. You'll feel like giving up. And that's when most people quit. But if you keep going, if you keep sacrificing comfort for growth, you'll separate yourself from the crowd. You'll become the kind of person who does what others aren't willing to do. And that's what success is all about. Doing what's uncommon to achieve what's extraordinary. Every time you let go of comfort, you say yes to your potential. You say yes to your dream. You say yes to the life you were meant to live. And the beautiful thing is, the more you grow, the more you crave growth. Comfort becomes boring. The grind becomes your joy. The struggle becomes your story. And one day you'll look back and realize that all the comfort you gave up was nothing compared to the success you gained. So stop waiting for the right time. Stop hoping success will come without cause. Embrace the sacrifice. Let go of comfort. Step into discomfort and build a life that you know deep down you're capable of living. Because on the other side of your comfort zone is your future. And that future is worth every sacrifice. Every dream costs something. Whether it's time, energy, relationships, or comfort, success requires a price to be paid up front. And one of the most expensive parts of the success journey is staying consistent through failure. Most people think failure is the end, but in reality, it's just a part of the process. You can't become great without failing. You can't master in without stumbling. The path to success isn't a straight road. It's filled with ups, downs, detours, and roadblocks. What separates the winners from everyone else is their ability to stay the course, even when everything seems to be falling apart. Failure is never fun. It breaks you. It embarrasses you. It humbles you. But failure is also one of life's greatest teachers. When you fail, you get feedback. You learn what doesn't work. You see your weaknesses. You realize what needs to be corrected. And if you're wise enough to keep going, every failure becomes a step toward your goal. The problem is, most people don't stay long enough in the fight to reap those lessons. The pain makes them retreat. The fear makes them stop. The shame makes them give up. But you have to make a decision that failure won't define you. It will refine you. You have to make a commitment that no matter how many times you fall, you will rise one more time. That's what consistency through failure looks like. It means getting back up when you feel broken. It means trying again when you have every reason to quit. It means pushing forward even when no one is clapping for you. It means believing in your vision so deeply that not even failure can shake your confidence. Staying consistent through failure is difficult because it doesn't give you quick rewards. When you keep showing up but don't see results, it messes with your head. You start questioning yourself. You wonder if you're wasting your time. You compare yourself to others who seem to be moving faster, doing better. And that's when the temptation to quit hits the hardest. That's when comfort starts calling you back. That's when average starts to look attractive. But in those moments, you need to remember why you started. You need to remember that success doesn't come to the most talented. It comes to the most committed. Your consistency is proof of your belief. Anyone can work hard when everything's going well. Anyone can stay motivated when results are coming in. But true strength is staying consistent when you're losing, when the business fails, when the test scores drop, when no one supports you, when you feel alone, when everything you tried seems to have failed. If you can keep working there, if you can keep building there, if you can keep believing there, you become unstoppable. You also need to realize that failure is not the opposite of success. It is a necessary ingredient. The most successful people in the world fail more than the average person ever even tried. They didn't let failure stop them. They let it shape them. Michael Jordan missed thousands of shots. Oprah was fired early in her career. Steve Jobs was once kicked out of his own company. These weren't the end of their stories. They were just the middle chapters. What mattered most was that they kept writing. They stayed consistent. They kept doing the work. And that's what you have to do. You have to build the kind of discipline that doesn't care about the scoreboard. You have to show up whether you feel like it or not. You have to study even when you're not getting A's. You have to practice even when no one's watching. You have to sell even when customers keep saying no. Every time you show up in the face of failure, you prove that you're serious. You prove that you're serious. You show that you're willing to pay the price. Consistency through failure also builds character. It develops your patience. It sharpens your mental toughness. It grows your emotional intelligence. It teaches you humility. These are things success alone can't teach. But failure forces you to grow. Failure pushes you to evolve. It makes you dig deep. It challenges your values. It exposes your mindset. If you embrace it, failure becomes a mirror that reveals the real you and gives you a chance to improve. One of the hardest parts about failing is how it affects your self-worth. When you keep missing your goals, when you keep falling short, it's easy to think that maybe you're just not good enough. A failure is not an identity, it's an event. It's something that happened, not something you are. Don't tie your value to your results, tie it to your effort. Tie it to your heart. Tie it to your discipline. Because results can be delayed, but the character you build through consistency is permanent. You have to build an identity around persistence. You have to see yourself as someone who doesn't give up, as someone who keeps fighting, as someone who never lets failure stop them. That kind of identity will carry you through the storms. It will give you the strength to keep climbing when the mountain seems too high. And once you lock into that mindset, you become dangerous because there's nothing more powerful than a person who refuses to quit. Staying consistent through failure also earns you respect, not just from others, but from yourself. Every time you show up, every time you keep working, every time you refuse to fold, you earn a little more self-respect. You prove to yourself that you can be trusted, that you're dependable, that you're resilient, and that self-respect becomes your armor. It protects you from negativity. It fuels your passion. It keeps your fire burning even when your results haven't caught up yet. The journey won't be easy. There will be setbacks. There will be seasons where nothing makes sense. But if you stay the course, if you keep your faith, if you keep doing the work, eventually the results will come. You'll break through. You'll start winning. And when you do, the victory will be that much sweeter because you know how much you've overcome. You'll look back and realize that every failure prepared you. Every disappointment shaped you. Every delay built you. So don't run from failure. Don't hide from it. Don't fear it. Embrace it. Learn from it. Let it refine you. Let it make you better. And above all, stay consistent. Keep moving. Keep working. Keep believing. Because in the end, success isn't given, it's earned. And those who earn it are the ones who stay consistent when others gave up. Most people want success, but not everyone is willing to isolate themselves to get. There comes a point in every journey where you have to separate yourself from the crowd. You have to walk away from distractions. You have to distance yourself from comfort zones. You have to stop seeking validation from people who don't understand your vision. Isolation isn't punishment, it's preparation. It's in that quiet space away from the noise that your focus sharpens, your goals become clearer, and your drive intensifies. When you're chasing something great, not everyone will get it. Friends might not understand why you're not hanging out like you used to. Family might question your choices. People might call you obsessed, crazy, or even arrogant. But if you're serious about success, you can't let those voices distract you. You have to be willing to stand alone if it means standing in purpose. Greatness requires tunnel vision. You can't afford to be everywhere with everyone all the time. Energy is currency, and successful people spend it wisely. Isolation is not about cutting everyone off forever. It's about knowing when to step back and protect your environment. You need space to think, space to grow, space to work without interruption. Not everyone can go with you to the next level. Some people are only meant for a season. They were part of your past, but they can't handle your future. When you start growing, you start glowing, and that makes some people uncomfortable. They like the old version of you, the one that didn't try too hard, the one that didn't challenge the status quo, the one that settled. But the moment you start to evolve, you also start to outgrow certain relationships. That's not arrogance. That's not arrogance. That's alignment. Success demands that you surround yourself with energy that matches your ambition. And sometimes until you find those people, you have to go solo. That's okay, because in solitude, you build strength. In solitude, you build self-belief. In solitude, you start hearing your own voice again. The world is full of noise, social media, opinions, trends, but your purpose requires stillness. It requires moments of silence where you check in with yourself, realign your goals, and get back to the work that matters. One of the biggest lies society tells us is that we always need to be connected. Always online, always responding, always available. But that kind of access drains you, it scatters your focus, it distracts you from the mission. If you're constantly reacting to everything around you, you can't create anything meaningful within you. Success isn't built in public, it's built in private. It's built in early mornings and late nights. It's built in missed parties and declined invitation. It's built in sacrifice and silence. The greatest breakthroughs often happen in seasons of isolation. That's when the ideas come. That's when the vision expands. That's when you go deeper within yourself and discover what you're truly made of. You realize how capable you are. You find strengths you didn't know you had. And because there's no applause, no audience, no spotlight, you're forced to work for the love of the craft, not the attention. That kind of hunger can't be manufactured. It's either in you or it's not. And isolation helps you figure that out. Being alone doesn't mean you're lonely. It means you're intentional. It means you value your time, your energy, and your dreams enough to protect them. While others are chasing approval, you're chasing progress. While others are caught up in drama, you're caught up in discipline. And while others are busy being busy, you're focused on results. That's the difference. That's what separates those who talk from those who do. There's also a mental clarity that comes with isolation. When you're constantly around people, you're constantly absorbing their energy, their thoughts, their emotions. That can be overwhelming. It can make it hard to even figure out what you want. But when you remove yourself from the chaos, your mind starts to clear. You begin to hear your own thoughts. You rediscover your values. You reconnect with your purpose. That clarity gives you direction. It helps you set better goals. It helps you stay on track. A lot of people don't succeed because they're afraid of being alone. They're afraid of what people will say. They're afraid of losing friends. They're afraid of looking selfish. But here's the truth. Every next level of your life will require a new version of you. And not everyone is meant to meet that version. If you're constantly dragging people with you who don't want to grow, you're slowing yourself down. You can't take everyone with you. And you can't keep shrinking yourself just to make others comfortable. Sometimes you have to disconnect to reconnect with your goals, your values, your vision. Isolation is where the real work happens. It's where champions are made. It's where ideas are birthed and visions are sharpened. It's where you get stronger, wiser, and more focused. Every successful person has gone through a season where they had to be by themselves, work in silence and stay under the radar. That's not weakness. That's strategy. Even nature teaches us the power of isolation. Diamonds are formed under pressure deep in the earth away from the surface. Eagles fly alone. Lions hunt alone. Trees grow in silence. If you want to be something rare, you have to stop following the crowd. If you want to rise, you have to leave behind the things that weigh you down. That's what isolation does. It frees you. It removes distractions. It reveals what matters. It forces you to depend on yourself. And eventually, after that season of isolation, you come back stronger. You come back wiser. You come back more focused. People start to notice the change. They start asking what happened. They don't know the hours you put in when no one was watching. They don't know about the sacrifices you made, the relationships you let go of, the internal battles you fought. All they see is the result. But the real transformation happened in private. So don't be afraid to isolate yourself for a season. Don't be afraid to say no. Don't be afraid to miss out. You're not missing anything when you're working on becoming everything you were created to be. Success is lonely, but so is regret. The difference is one leads to fulfillment, the other leads to frustration. Choose your heart. In the end, success is not about being seen, it's about being effective. And effectiveness often requires isolation. It requires periods where you block out the world and lock in on your dream. It's in those moments that your discipline is tested, your passion is refined, your skills are sharpened, and your vision becomes unstoppable. So if you're in a season where you feel alone, misunderstood or distant from others, don't see it as a setback. See it as a setup. You're being positioned for greatness. Use this time. Protect this time. Work in silence and let the results speak for you. Because when it's your time to shine, the world will notice. But until then, keep building in the dark. Keep grinding in the shadow. Keep walking alone. Because success demands sacrifice, and sometimes the biggest sacrifice is walking alone to become who you were always meant to be. You've heard it all: sacrifice sleep, comfort, popularity, time, and even people. You've been told that success doesn't come without a price, and that price often feels like too much to bear. But let me ask you a question right here, right now. What are you willing to give up to get to where you've never been? Because let me tell you something. Everyone wants to shine, but not everyone is willing to go through the darkness it takes to get there. Success will cost you something. It might cost you your social life, your free time, your late night scrolling, your comfort zone, or your old identity. It might even cost you relationships. But hear me loud and clear, it will never cost you more than regret. You want to know what hurts more than discipline? Regret. You want to know what stings more than sacrifice? Wasted potential. There's no pain greater than looking in the mirror one day and realizing you let fear and comfort steal your future. You've got one life. One. And the clock is ticking whether you move or not. You don't get to hit pause. You don't get a do-over. This is it. And if you're going to live this life to its fullest, if you're going to die empty with every ounce of your potential used up, then sacrifice is not optional. It's the entry fee. Listen to me. Nobody is coming to rescue you. No one is coming to wake you up. No one is going to put in the work for you. No one is going to chase your dream for you. This is your life, your story. And the world will only take you as seriously as you take yourself. So how serious are you? Some of you have been waiting for the perfect moment. You've been waiting until you feel ready, until life gets easier, until people support you, until you feel motivated. Well, let me break it to you. There is no perfect time. You don't need more time. You need more courage. The kind of courage that says, even if I have to do it scared, I'm going to do it anyway. The kind of courage that walks through pain. The kind that sacrifices comfort for calling. I need you to understand something about the people who succeed at the highest level. They were just as tired as you. They were just as broke, just as confused, just as alone. The difference, they kept moving. They kept sacrificing. They kept going when it didn't make sense. They gave everything and then gave some more. They refused to let excuses be stronger than their commitment. You think you're sacrificing now. You think it's hard. Good. That means you're on the right path. That means you're doing something worthwhile. Because if it was easy, everybody would do it. If it didn't hurt, it would grow you. You're not weak because it's difficult. You're becoming strong because you're doing it anyway. You're proving to yourself that success is not just about what you get. It's about who you get. It's about who you become. And who you're becoming right now through your sacrifice, through your sleepless nights. That person is unstoppable. Don't get it twisted. This isn't about money. It's not about followers, not about applause. It's about impact. It's about purpose. It's about becoming the best version of yourself so you can turn around and lift others up. Because when you succeed, it's not just for you. It's not just for you. It's for your family, your community, your future kids. It's for every person watching you and thinking if they can do it, maybe I can too. You are the example. You are the proof. You are the hope someone else is praying for. So don't quit. Don't settle. Don't slow down. Keep pushing. Keep grinding. Keep sacrificing. Because I promise you this, every seed you plant in sacrifice will reap a harvest in success. Every lonely night, every early morning, every you say to the world so you can say yes to your dream, it all counts. None of it is wasted. There's something beautiful about the person who keeps showing up, who keeps giving 120% even when no one's watching, who keeps fighting for a future no one else can see but them. That person is dangerous. That person is unshakable. That person is you. And don't worry about how long it's taking. Don't get discouraged because others seem ahead. You're not late. You're in process. Your journey is tailor-made. Trust your pace. Stay in your lane. Keep doing the work. Because when your moment comes, and it will come, you'll be ready. You'll be unstoppable. You'll be undeniable. Some people want the prize, but they're not willing to endure the process. They want the blessing, but they won't carry the burden. But that's not you. You're not average. You're not mediocre. You're built different. You've been through too much. You've sacrificed too much. You've cried too many nights, doubted too many times, and prayed too many times, and prayed too many prayers to give up now. Your breakthrough is coming. Your season is shifted, but you've got to stay the course. So I want you to make a decision right now. Decide that you're going to see this thing through. Decide that you're done with excuses. Decide that sacrifice is not something you fear, it's something you embrace. Because success demands it, and you're ready. You got everything it takes. You may not have the money, but you got the mindset. You may not have the connection, but you got the commitment. You may not have the resources, but you got the resilience. And if you keep showing up, if you keep sacrificing, success has no choice but to surrender to you. You're not waiting on success. Success is waiting on you. Let today be the day you draw the line in the sand. The day you say, I'm all in. No more halfway, no more distraction, no more doubts. Just full focus, full fire, full faith. Sacrifice what you must have gained what you were born for. Because in the end, you won't remember the sleep you missed. You won't miss the parties. You won't care about the opinions. What you will remember is the moment you stepped into your destiny, knowing you gave everything to get there.